Pelicans lose 119-108. Before we start the show, obviously, I want to talk about the tragedy that happened earlier this morning. Thoughts and prayers to everybody involved. Just a senseless act, and just sucked to wake up to this morning. We were just talking about Five, Chaz, and Ross. Like, we've all been down there, just thinking about kids and everything. It's just hard to process, Jared. I don't know if you wanted to say anything, or Chaz or Ross, but just really hard day for all of us.
Yeah, tough day. You guys sent the text message earlier. I had no idea what you were talking about. I really had no idea. I was like, what are you talking about? But to wake up and hear that, bro, we've all been on Bourbon Street as kids. Probably been in spots we weren't supposed to be in, and although you're supposed to watch out for certain things, like there was no way anybody could be prepared for that at that certain time. So, I mean, to the people that lost their lives, to the people that were injured, man, sorry. I mean, thought, prayers, whatever you need. Also, there are some of the victims. There isn't a lot of blood to go around. So if you can donate blood, if you're in the New Orleans area, try to figure out. I'll try to find something and I'll tweet about it. But yeah, man, try to do anything you can to help somebody else. Stay close to your loved ones, because you never know what day might be your last.
Yeah, I did see that give blood thing during the broadcast. I didn't realize there was that much of a shortage, but yeah, we need to try and pull that, Justin. Maybe we can post it. The locations and times and stuff for tomorrow.
Well, if maybe we can find that, we can get the link up. Chaz, I don't know if you have anything to say before we start the show.
Just echo those guys' sentiments. Sorry for all the life lost, and you can be as vigilant as you can in these instances, but you can never really predict when something like this is going to happen. Yeah.
So look, we're going to go for about an hour tonight, maybe a good distraction to talk about another loss of the Pelicans. They've lost now 20 of 21. They lose to the Heat 119-108. But remember, smash that like button. Let's do it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented by the Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. Have you been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore? Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Yes, a free consultation. Always fight for the win, and is always powered by 4D Energy. So I am not away from the show. There are a couple rumors started by some people in the chat saying that I was done with the show, and we got DMs and emails and tweets, and no, I'm here. We're 5-29. 5-29 is crazy. This is more than injuries at this point. Very, very well thought out comment, spectacular. But Chaz, let's start off with you first. Once again, Trey Murphy, really good performance through three quarters. Had 34 points. Goes 11 of 24 from the field, 5-15 from deep. Doesn't score in the fourth quarter. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in the show, but what have you liked so far in this stretch here of about 12 games now of Trey Murphy? And what have you seen kind of his game take it to the next level?
I like his confidence, his assertiveness. Most of his shots are, he's not shooting a lot of shots in the dumb zone, getting to the rim, finding unique ways to score, because it isn't all threes. And, it's at the rim, starting to showcase his floater as a 6'10" guy. Of course, the three is always going to be there for him. I thought tonight, especially, he's just making something out of nothing, man. A lot of those looks aren't clean, and when the shots go in, everyone's happy, but you still got to find a way to get some easy buckets for a guy like that, generate some easy looks. But overall, I'm liking the confidence, man. I'm liking the intensity, the physicality. He's finishing violently, got to the rim. I think he had 7 free throws, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yep, went 7-7 from the free throw line. That's refreshing to see as a Pelican. Shot 15 threes. Look, I don't give a damn you made them, how many you made or not. Shoot them and keep shooting them. You know what I'm saying? 11 for 24, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, only 1 turnover. So I think you're seeing something that I'm trying to, things don't happen until they happen. But I think you're finally seeing what it looks like to have a clear runway. Yeah. And I'm happy that that's finally starting to be showcased.
Yeah, Chaz, you brought up a great point. Jared, Trey goes the line 7 times, then goes 7-7. Obviously, he's one of the best free throw shooters in the league. What north of 85. I got to look at his stats, but he was close to 90% last year, if I'm not mistaken. One thing about that stat, though, Jared, is that he's not just settling shooting the three-pointer. Obviously, he's getting 15 attempts a night, but that to me shows he's also attacking the rim as well. I saw a couple moves tonight that I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's diversifying his game a lot. And to Chaz's point, like, right, he has the runway to do so. What I would like to see is that fourth quarter, bro. Hey, bro, yeah, you shot 15 threes in 4 quarters. Go for 20. Like, I don't care if you missed them all. They just keep shooting them, bro. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. You're the Pelicans' best option. Oh, little white bean, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Like, just continue to. Oh, what's up, man? Just continue to attack, man. Just at any point, right? Not just threes, not just getting to the rim, trying to get to the free throw line, diversifying your game. Yeah, Willie Green isn't getting you any easy baskets by calling anything for you. The Miami Heat went zone in the fourth quarter. In some way, somehow, the Pelicans couldn't draw up anything to get their shooter open. The other team wants you to shoot threes, but yet you couldn't get your shooter open to shoot threes, which is
funny thing about that, Jared, is like at one point Miami kind of switched it up and they were in zone and they didn't like the Pelicans didn't recognize it for like the first 13 seconds. I was like, Dejounte Murray dribbled right into two people. It was tough. Ross, you said that you wanted to see Trey Murphy get up 25 attempts, so on and so forth. He gets up 24 tonight. Was that enough? Was that enough in your mind for this game? Was that enough?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I was. We kind of joked about it at halftime, right? Like, is this going to be a sort of a remix of the last game where he's playing really well in the first half, and then where does Trey Murphy go? And I thought he came out in the third quarter really aggressive and continued to get shots up, and then the game just kind of slipped away, and then he went to the bench for a little bit and he came back in, and you didn't see a lot more. But look, I like this. This is like we're seeing different stuff out of his offensive game. Like this isn't just like, yeah, he took 15 threes tonight, but this isn't just Trey Murphy taking a bunch of 3-pointers. Yeah. Like as a starter, he's taking, I think, over 4 free throws a game. You're seeing that continue to go up here over December and now obviously into January. I think you're seeing new things in his offensive repertoire that I like. So I'm very pleased with this progression. Obviously, it was a slow start coming off that injury in training camp, but he's full stride now. And like Chaz said, you're seeing what a player can do with a little more runway.
Chaz, would for Trey Murphy, like, where do you think? Okay, so the biggest thing was that with Brandon Ingram, we're talking about Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and I remember you posted a stat about, man, it was maybe a couple weeks ago, about how their stats are very similar, right? And so I did his last 12 games. He's got better stats now for the last 12 games. He's played 18, he's played 19 than Brandon has all season. He's getting to the line more. He's shooting a way higher volume on 3-pointers. He's averaging, I think Brandon's averaging 22. He's averaging like 22 and a half. Now that's going to go up to probably 23-ish. How with Trey Murphy getting this runway, probably starting for the next 50 games, where do you think he can end up, like average wise, with points, rebounds, assists, 3-point percentage, etc.? Where do you think Trey can end up with this type of runway?
Like an absolute number?
Well, I mean, just like how many points per game do you think he can end up?
I think he can reasonably end up maybe 20, 23, 4, and maybe 2. If he can lean into rebounding, I think he can get up to maybe 5, 6 with his athleticism and wingspan. But 23, 24, 4 and 2, because he's a very efficient player. And again, he doesn't take a lot of shots in the dumb zone. Everything's a dunk in a restricted area, or it's a 3. So I can only imagine that they were able to generate some wide open looks, or if he had someone who could really break the defense and play make, probably generate even more shot opportunities. Him getting to the free throw line is going to be a huge that to me, and it's not necessarily comparing those two, but to me that was the major like red flag when I saw Trey having more free throw attempts than Brandon going in like this season. Right. And to me, that's like, yo, bro, that just can't happen. So, I think if he continues to get to the free throw line, 23, 24, at his best rebounding, about 5, 6. I don't think he's ever going to be too much of a playmaker. So maybe 2, 3 at the most. But yeah.
Yeah, I wish Trey would get more. He only had 4 tonight, but But Jarrett, so Trey doesn't score in the fourth tonight again. Who's at fault? Coach, player, what do you got?
It's got to be player, right? Let's put.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear all y'all's thoughts on this.
Yeah, like like at some point, just like we live in New Orleans, like we know our government ain't shit. Like we can't just be sitting back and be like, oh well, the government ain't shit, and just complain about it. Like we know Willie ain't gonna draw up nothing for Trey.
Right.
Trey has to accept that. Cool. Just like you were aggressive in the first 3 quarters, be aggressive in the fourth. I don't care if there makes some misses at this point because you're going to lose anyway. Just attempt, right? Attempt to be a good player. Attempt to be an active player. Play off others. Like there were a time where the Miami Heat was in the zone. Like he was just passing back and forth between him and Dejounte. Like, nah, don't defer to anybody. Don't defer to anybody. If you're going to try to get downhill, cool. Try to make a play for somebody else. Try to make a play for yourself. Don't just sit back and allow the game. I hate when people say letting the game come to them. Like, no, play the game. You only have a certain allotment of minutes. Play the game.
Which is interesting, Jarrett, because I think about certain ways Trey Murphy could score, right? And I thought he was passive in the fourth quarter, but rebounding is obviously the easiest choice. So why do those numbers stay like around 4 or 5? Is that a mindset with Trey? Is he more of like, hey, you're going to leak out and look for transition threes? Like, what is it with that? Because Trey Murphy definitely is one of the more athletic guys on the court. He's 6'10".
Yeah.
Like, why does he get more rebounds?
But yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this the last couple years. Trey has to leak out because if he doesn't, there aren't any plays for him in the half court offense. Like he doesn't have the ball. He's not initiating. So he doesn't get to determine if he shoots or not. Someone else does. So if he's on a fast break, he gets to determine it, right? He gets to be the finisher on a play. Because if it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-2 break, he's 6'10", he can shoot, he can space. It's an easier opportunity for Trey Murphy to score rather than in a half court. He's a finisher. Cool. Like, all right, he's going to be putting corners and the defense gets to dictate by way of the offense how he gets to score. And that isn't always conducive for Trey. And that's why he isn't trying to get more rebounds in the game, because then that takes away from his ability to score in transition.
Yeah. Ross, player or coach problem with Trey Murphy not scoring in the fourth again?
Yeah, I mean, I probably lean toward player. Although it's a bit tricky, right? Because I think it's a couple games in a row where they take him out, I want to say, to start the fourth quarter, and then he maybe comes back in at like the 7, about halfway through. I don't know the exact minute mark. So it's like tonight he was in a hell of a rhythm, playing great, attacking downhill. And then you sit 6 minutes or whatever it is, come back in, the game had kind of gotten away from him. So I don't know. I mean, I lean toward what Five said. I mean, if you're expecting something different from Willie Green, appreciate you, Will. If you're expecting something different like that, that's going to be on you at this point. Like it's the same stuff we used to say about Zion last year. This is NBA basketball. If you have it going, demand the basketball.
But man,
demonstratively demand the basketball. They're not going to draw up any plays. Trey, you've been here 4 years. Ain't drawn up a play for you in 4 years, brother.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. You just said it though. But you just said it, which is crazy. He's got it going. So then, how, as a coach, how do you not see it? Okay, Trey's not getting the ball. It's a dribbling fest with CJ McCollum. How do you not all right, we got to get 25 a look here? At what point does it become?
What? You think Willie Green said, let's get 25 a look? He told me in my face, Trey, we don't run anything for Trey. Trey gets his shots in the flow of the offense. Willie Green said that out of his own mouth. You think that's changed?
I would think there would be no.
I think the only thing that's changed is nothing has changed about that. But what's changed is Trey's mentality, right? And early in the games, I still think there's a some like, I don't want to say posturing, but like, I don't know how comfortable he is late in the game saying, like, give me the basketball, right? Like you see other real, like good players demand the basketball. Trey's not the guy that we don't get any stops really. So like, you're always taking the ball out from under your own basket. Mm-hmm. He's not the guy initiating the offense. So it's like, there are some hurdles to a player like that at this point in his progression, at this point in his career, of like, how are you going to demand the basketball when they switch Jimmy Butler onto you in the fourth quarter because you have it going? What are you going to do when the other team makes it? And this is the same thing we talked about on the last show, right? Willie Green says himself at the end of the game, well, they made some changes at halftime to kind of deny Trey the basketball. Okay, great. Teams are going to do that. What are you going to do, player and coach, to then demand the basketball? I haven't seen them take that. Like, I haven't seen that piece of it yet.
Man, I don't want to come off as insensitive, because it's a crazy time right now. Willie Green is such a stupid motherfucker, man. It's like, we said this last time, it's like, man, it started off as a joke, but I didn't think he would actually use this as an excuse. Like, it's hard to score with teams playing defense, man. I don't know. Like, you just weak, wimpy fuck. Like, just get out of here, man. He stinks, bro. Personally, I put the onus on the player because you know the situation you're in. Yeah. I can only talk so bad about. No, let me not say that because I could talk forever about how bad Willie Green is. But at a certain point, it's like, what are you doing? Like, it's on the player. The guys are making adjustments, and like I saw James Borrego, Willie Green, and Casey Hill huddled up, and I didn't think anything positive was coming from that meeting. It was like the press conference today. I never felt any fewer. Like I was less confident than I was going into it, and I saw them huddled up. I didn't think any good play call, any good look was coming out of it, and lo and behold, nothing came from that meeting of minds. So at this point, I think. Appreciate you, game. Y'all be sure to smash the like button, man. It's 232 people in there. Let's get the good vibes going. Smash the like button. We also got some new merchandise dropping. I'm gonna drop the link for y'all soon. I hope y'all like these. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. But yeah, ultimately it's on the player to me because you know who you're dealing with. You gotta just go crazy. I saw Trey talking a lot in the first half, like telling guys to get back on defense. He was doing a lot of point. He was being demonstrative. You gotta just keep up the attitude, man. Seize the mantle, steal the mantle. Yeah. Fuck Willie Green.
Yeah, I was the only thing I'd kind of push back on. I think earlier it may have been Chaz, is that I've seen a little progression from Trey in the half court, like as a facilitator. I don't want to call him a facilitator, but like in terms of being a secondary passer. And I think
he had a nice dump off the Messi a couple times.
And part of that is we talked about him shooting free throws. This is the other aspect of it, is as he continues to get more aggressive, driving to the basket, finishing around the basket. I think it's opening up a ton of opportunities for him as a passer. And it seems like, I don't know, maybe that was 2 games ago he had 4 or 5. I think the last game we talked about it, he had 5 or 6 or 7 assists. I think he only had 3 tonight. But you're seeing more of some of that secondary playmaking, especially in the half court, off some of those straight line drives. So I don't know. I'd like to see more. I think a lot of this is on Trey, man. I don't. Chaz, you called him like efficient earlier. I don't see him take enough bad shots. Yeah. Like I know that's I don't know that's not exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But it's like I would be okay every now and then with like just a one dribble pull up or something. Like just when you got it going, see. I don't know. I don't think I'm wording that exactly how I want to, but like it's okay for everything not to be either like a finish at the rim or a wide open 3. Like continue to work in other stuff.
Yeah, I think Trey needs a couple fuck you shots.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I got it going. I got to make sure, like, is it really one of them nights? Because you're never going to, if you just are so focused on the really good shots or only taking good shots, you're never going to take enough shots at that point, right? Like, I need games where you go 0 for 10, 5 for 15, maybe 7 for 20. Like, you need these types of games in the future because you know what you will feel like when you got it going.
Yeah. Is this Trey's 4th year?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, the issue I think is with things like that, he's so used to being one of the few people on the team held accountable that it's like in the first 4 years, especially the first 2, when you really weren't good, that's when you're supposed to be running the young guys, giving the young guys the opportunities to, learn and take those bad shots and become as good or as appreciate you, Kai, become as good or as bad as they're supposed to. Now it's kind of like we're seeing this emergence. I don't think any of us are really surprised by it, but it's like, damn, it could have come a year earlier or maybe even 2 earlier if he was allotted certain afforded certain opportunities. And that's just another testament to Willie Green being awful.
It's kind of the same conversation Jared and I had with Jordan Hawkins. It's like you never let him fail over, too much his rookie season. Like, this is kind of his rookie season now, and he's struggling. But go ahead.
I don't know. I've seen him fail a lot, to be honest.
No, I kind of resemble that to Jordan. What's your boy in DC?
Jordan
Poole, right? Like, he got a chance to fail forward a lot, right? There was a lot of bad games in Golden State, and I don't think Jordan Poole was supposed to be what we see him as, but they must have saw something in him in Golden State, like, hey, let him fail, but also in a good offense. Also, you had Steph to be your barrier. But you see a guy where his confidence is so high, like he was allowed to fail and gain his own confidence, and understand, like, I can shoot myself out of it. I wish Trey had a little bit of that. I really do.
Well said, Five. So look, I'll talk about Herb Jones, but Chaz, a lot of people talk about Dejounte Murray.
Hey,
Shane drops this stat for you. Dejounte shooting 36.5% from the field on the season this year.
Yeah, man, 2 turds from the same ass organization. I think looking at Dejounte, I'm tired of it. Like, and what really gave me pause was the I'm going through some injuries and stuff like that, but I don't want to make any excuses. All right, then just say no, I'm fine. Like, what month we in? We in January. Everybody playing with something. Everybody's injured. Everybody's dealing with some type of nagging thing. It's just like you can't be as bad as he's been on both sides of the ball, and him returning early from injury still being an excuse. So at this point, you're in a rut. I've seen him play very well in the past. I trust him to get out of this rut, but at the same time, gotta acknowledge you're having even if I just counted the last 10 games, having a very bad season by any metric, by any standard. I think I do liken it to a person that wants or needs a system to be successful. So you come into a team where there is no system. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I mean, everything just looks bad. Like he took I think after CJ, it may have been after CJ got that offensive board, hit the 3. I think he dribbled. He took like this random, like terrible, ill-advised pull-up 3. You could do that after you made about 3 of them, but it was just a terrible looking shot. So I think he has a lot to work on going into this off season. And I think that starts for him probably more than anyone else moving forward with a new coach, because he's been bad. He's coming from who you got? Popovich, Snyder, and you land, with the Einstein of coaches and Willie Green. So it's going to take some adjusting, but I think time is up. You need to figure it out.
Ross, Dejounte gonna turn it around here?
No, not this year. Not this year. And in fact, I get it. I didn't necessarily like the way he said, dealing with some stuff where, like, hey, we 5-29. You dealing with some stuff, like, just go ahead and deal with it. Take
some time off.
Yeah, like, you don't need to play. I mean, it's over. I'm not being. I know it sounds like I'm not being funny. Like, there's no, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, go get healthy. I mean, what are you playing? What are you playing for? I mean, there ain't no coming back from this at this point. Like, I know he wants to play, and I appreciate the dude trying to tough it out or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you're just not playing that well. You're with a head coach that's absolutely not going to help you. you're not the type of player that is meant to be like the best player on a successful team. The players that were supposed to be that currently are not playing. This is just a bad situation. I don't think he's a bad player.
Not
okay?
no.
I think he stepped into a bad situation. Too much was put on his shoulders. He got hurt. He probably is still hurt. And he's trying to do a bit too much in a bad situation. Like, I would just go get healthy if it was me at this point. Look, if they were 13-16, like, hey, we're scratching and clawing, trying to stay at 5. Hey, do what you got to do. 5-29, the season's over. Just go get healthy, man. I ain't gonna think no less. I'm not gonna think anything less of you. I guess he loses a couple bucks, but like,
yeah. I'm glad he raised that point because the Pelicans are gonna make him miss that one game no matter what.
That's what I was gonna say, Chaz.
So they can duck the tax.
Explain that again. So if he misses one more game, he's not owed how much?
Roughly like $1 million for something along those lines. I'm not mistaken, but it would put the Pelicans only like $800,000 above the luxury tax. So now there's no time like the present, dog. Like just miss a couple games. We saw LeBron miss some games. He went, he got some of that Michael's secret stuff, pause, and now he's back and he's looking like the old LeBron. It's interesting, but Dejounte, just take some time off, take a week off, man, and you'll be fine.
Take a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Shit, take a couple months.
Hey, why not? Why not?
So speaking of that, when y'all think Zion comes back?
What's the day? They got one more home game. I got to answer that question with a bit of a question.
Okay.
Do you think, given recent events in the city, that things will be business as usual for the organization, or do you think that it puts a pause on certain events? And before you answer, I want to show this. I mean, this is this is not David Griffin. This is some guy named David. It says, "Fuck it, just fire me." It's David the Dunce. Got a nice little knit cap. Something for the family for the winter. I put the link in the description. I put the link in the chat. Something for the family, the kids. You know what I'm saying? Get the knit cap too. You know what I'm saying? It's for a good cause. But all things considered, do you think moves that the organization may have been like, hey, we're gonna bring Zion back, hey, we're gonna fire Willie Green, hey, David Griffin, do you think all that's been put on pause?
Some of it. I believe some of it has been put on pause, especially the ones that have negative connotations. They possible negative connotations, right? They'll put a pause on that. Just because it's this, which is ironic, right? This team or this organization so protective of a brand
that don't even exist.
That doesn't even exist, fully, right? Like, and I think even with what you're seeing with the national media, just with the events that happened today, they're realizing how bad local media is when covering incidents. Like, if anybody watched that press conference, it's like, wow, this is what you tell people and they accept it. Okay, this is no different than what happens in the real media rooms in sports. Like, this is what you tell people and they just accept it. Yeah.
Guys, Justin, Ross?
I still think there's an off chance he's fired before the Wizards game. I think I thought it would be tonight.
Yeah,
but I think given some of the things that have happened, that it could bleed out into tomorrow, which is probably perfectly fine. Got the Sugar Bowl playing tomorrow. Look, Sugar Bowl kicks off at 3. I think it'd be a great time to announce.
They changed the time.
I'd go ahead and let that hit the wire around 3:15.
Yeah.
And then you get Zion back and good to go. I still, to answer your original question, I still don't think Zion plays until Willie's fired. So just whenever those two things align, that's when Zion will play again.
Some people say it's a good time to do it because it's like you kind of do it in the dead of night. Like
I'm not trying to be insensitive here. But like something negative happening in the city doesn't change the fact that this man is 5-29 and has looked lost. He is lost. He has no clue what's going on. He has no business being a head coach in the NBA. That those two things, can live apart from each other. Like, I get it. There's a horrible situation that happened this morning. We sort of addressed that. Willie Green still deserves to be fired. He deserved to be fired yesterday or the day before or a month ago or 6 weeks, whatever you want to call it, right? Like if they do it tonight, I'm not going to be like, wow, they really should have waited till tomorrow. I'm going to say, no, you probably still should have done it two months ago. Yeah. So, right. I mean, look, it is what it is. Whenever it happens, but it needs to happen very soon.
That's the problem, right? There's no separation of church and state in this city.
No.
Right. Everything seems to be too connected. And like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, yes, something tragic happened today in New Orleans, but that doesn't mean your team isn't 5-29. Like, you did this. This is the product you put out there. This is the product you coach. Like, you need to be held responsible for your actions.
If he loses that game Friday,
it can't be contingent on that.
Forever. It can't be this forever.
We said the same guys. I want him fired. Like, I'm with y'all on it.
What I'm saying is like it's already
lose the Wizards on Friday at home, bro.
But we said this. What they have a 6-game homestand, and we said, man, if they lose all 6 of those, guys, he's got to be gone. Well, hey, guess what? They not only they lose all 6, they got their ass kicked in 5 of the 6 or whatever. We can't if that's the barometer. It just keeps moving back.
Yeah,
like I just don't think it happens tomorrow.
The Band-Aid off. What are we doing? Like,
I don't think it happens. But I think if you were going to do it, no time like the present is just.
But the time would have been like those 3 off days we had back-to-back weeks.
Well, the time would have been. when fucking before Halloween, maybe, now that the seasons are changing, speaking of seasons changing, they got these hoodies and, something for the kids. Get the kids a hoodie. They got the little beanie, complimentary beanery, the baby oil sold separately. Like, just get something for the kids, the wife, it's hoodie season. It's hey,
what's hilarious to me, Chad? I hate to say it's hilarious to me this note because if we're saying if he loses to the Wizards, that it's implying that him beating the team beating the Wizards would be like looked upon as like, oh, that bought you time.
Yeah.
They're as bad or worse than you are. It's like that shouldn't be those two. What a ridiculous thought, right? It's like.
Desperately
you should win that game. Yeah, like you should win this game by 30. Yeah. Instead, it's like, you beat the Wizards. Give them a little time. Give them some.
What do you think? What do you think, Justin? Do you think it changes things?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. But I don't know. I kind of agree with Jarrett. Like, I've seen the way this team operates. I know their day to day. I've seen it for 2 years. No, they're gonna bleed this thing out. He'll be coaching in Washington on Sunday. No doubt about it.
It's a quick turnaround too, and you play the same. I think whenever the next,
it's tough to fire somebody. Hey, you come home. Hey, you're fired, and then they pack up ship and leave. Okay, or you lose, you're fired. Like it's just, bro.
It's just tough to even like rationalize firing them when you're this far gone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even if they didn't fire him, I don't know if we could really say, well, you're 5-29. You let this guy fuck up the remainder of the season. It's gonna be like, it's been over for about a month now. You probably had the worst December on record, especially for the Pelicans. It's,
they've lost 20 of 21, Chaz. They're 5-29. They're 1-15 on the road. In what world does everyone keep their job? Like, you're failing this bad. In what business would someone keep their job?
Because this is
you can't say meteorology. You can't even be that bad as a meteorologist.
This is a double whammy for me. I think you've said this shit. Like this is so bad it's a double whammy. Like, this isn't just you fire one person.
No,
like you saw Detroit, new general manager, new coach, like clean
new coach with a crazy contract.
Yeah, like this is like multiple firings. Most teams would treat this as multiple firings. Like, this isn't the Kings, bad start, do something, right? Fire the coach, whatever, whether you think it was justified or not. Like, that's generally how these things happen. This is so bad that if you really wanted to do what's appropriate, you start it's multiple people got to go.
To me, it's even, and again, this is to not see the general manager or the vice president of basketball operations, or even Swin, anybody, given the events of today, which is totally separate from sports. But I'm just saying, it's still interesting because you're the face of the organization. Willie Green isn't the face of the organization. David Griffin is the face of the organization. And, bro, you just lost like 12 games in a row, 11 games in a row. You're not going to say anything?
Longest losing streak of the
25
year.
of 27.
They've had 2 9+ game losing streaks in 1 year. 2 of them. Bro, 2 9-game losing streaks. Like, when do you think the last time the Celtics have had a 9-game? When do you think the last time the Thunder have had a 9-game losing streak? I guess Grizzlies had it last year.
Wait,
here's the thing, 9-game losing streaks and doing it twice in 1 year is special, man.
But here's the thing, though, Justin. You ain't losing on purpose.
That's
what makes it worse.
You're trying to win.
You're trying to win. So you look crazy as hell.
That's really why you can't compare it to those OKC teams. Like, they were actively trying to lose those years. Like, when they started trying to win, they just started winning.
Right.
Like, even Detroit, to a certain degree, like, they're trying, desperately trying to win these games, and they can't. It is so damning. Like, this is so damning. It shows how bad of a situation it is, man. Like, you're running a bunch of veterans out there.
Y'all want to speak about any other players? Because I think we kind of shout out to Christian Clark, man, old friend of the show, now covering the Dallas Mavericks, man, on the greener pastures. So he mentioned something that we had kind of heard about or talked about a little bit, for as the Dallas Mavericks having some interest in Herb Jones. I think Herb's been pretty bad, and
kind of nicely.
And not only do I think he's been pretty bad, I think he's been pretty bad, like across the board, pretty bad. Like, he can't really defend anybody right now. Not really. He never was much of a rebounder, and the scoring is just, it ain't really there. Like tonight, for example, this is one game, but 3 or 5 ain't bad. But 0 for 1 from Yano, 2 free throws, had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, not bad. 2 assists, 1 steal. I'm sorry, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 5 fouls. Like, I think if you get a decent offer, and that decent offer being a first and some solid player, I think you really should entertain moving on from her, because I'm wondering. At first, I just chalked it up to Willie Green. Like, offensively, I'm like, but it's like you not really doing. It's too many things to me. It's too many things. Like, it's the not gaining weight, it's the rebounding, it's the not being able to score necessarily, it's the defense kind of falling off a bit, and it's the Herb's about to be 27, and you saw Dorian Finney-Smith just go for a couple seconds, but Dorian Finney-Smith shooting 40-something% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Herb's
so the less
29% this year.
Yeah, so the less years on Herb's contract, and the older he gets, like, the less value. I think right now you're looking at a first,
bro. Herb could be the final piece to a championship team, and like you're talking about Dallas, like Herb
that team got to be really, really good though. I think it got to be like very good.
Man, I think Herb's such a look. I love Herb Jones. He's our favorite player on the team. I see your point, Chaz. Again, you absolutely have a very valid point. I just know who our president of basketball operations is, and he doesn't have the balls to do that. I just know that for a fact. He couldn't do it with Brandon Ingram. You think he can do it with Herb Jones? Can you imagine the backlash this fan base would do? But I know, Chaz, I know you don't care. He cares. You don't care. I understand you don't care. He cares. He cares about that. There's no way.
If he did it, though, I just don't think he would. I don't think he's going to be around for it to matter. Who cares at the end of the day? Because it's like, to me, that's not like a watershed move. Like, and really, if you him and you see what's happening with Brandon, you're like, oh shit, can I really do this again? Like, can I really fuck this up again? I don't know. What y'all think?
Yeah, just the Herb thing. Like, all right, you think about trading him. I don't know necessarily what you get back. I think you posted a trade that included
the Pistons.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out Pistons talk.
No, to Dallas, right?
Oh yeah,
you saw the Dallas
Lively
one,
did.
yeah.
I think if you could get Lively in the first, that's a home run.
Yeah.
But you're not getting Lively. I don't think.
See,
Yeah.
and my only thing
No
is
way.
like it's like twofold, right? Like that'd be a great trade. I think it's even on both sides. It actually helps Dallas a lot. They lose, the rim threat, the alley threat from Kyrie or Luka when they come back. I think Herb's just tired, bro. Like he's helped this team again, 6 rated defense 2 years in a row where there was not another defensive player on the team with him. He's had to carry that pause load for 2 years straight. I think it's just catching up to him at this point, right? He can't continue to be the savior for everybody every time, and now he can't even save himself at this point, right? He's trying to get his own footing back. That's just a little pushback. If he goes to a team that's half decent, right, like middle of the pack, I think he pushes them or propels them into a top 10 defensive team easily, in my opinion. It just depends on where. I think Dallas is a place that Jason Kidd, I asked him about Herb Jones, right?
Yeah,
The interview, right?
Yeah.
He said there needs to be more Herb Joneses in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think they would welcome Herb Jones with open arms.
And I think he would, I'm telling you, take that team to the next level. That's really well said, Jared. But Ross, go ahead with the Herb thing, because I also want to talk about his technical foul that he got tonight, which I thought was a little ridiculous.
Yeah. My issue with Herb, and we just talked about this last show, is that I just think trading him right now, you would be trading him at his lowest point in the last 3 or 4 years. Like I think this is the least valuable he's been, and I think, to Five's point, I think he looks tired and looks hurt to me. Like he doesn't look like he's playing at 100%. In fact, I went to the last game, and it was the first time that I really have ever noticed he's not even getting in like a defensive stance. Like in just one-on-one on-ball situations, he's really not even in a sort of an aggressive defensive position, which is so rare if you've watched his first 3 years in the NBA, where he's always in a stance, always in a ready defensive position, ready to get through screens, ready to fight over the top or go underneath, whatever you needed to do. And now it's just like he's just sort of playing. And so I don't see a lot of energy out of him. And I just feel like, his name is coming up, and I get it, because if I was a good team, I would be seeing the same thing that I'm seeing right now. This guy looks tired. He looks overworked. He looks like they've been putting him in a bad position. He looks like they don't put him in spots to sort of showcase his abilities, both offensively or defensively. All of it. I would be trying to get him for the cheap too. So it's not a surprise to see his name come up in these like trades and the teams are interested in him. I think that makes perfect sense. I just wouldn't trade him right now, because I think you're going to get less than you would have gotten to start the year, or less than you might get to start next year. But the one thing about his game that really drives me crazy, and I noticed it really stood out again tonight, is that he just doesn't make any attempt to rebound the damn basketball. Like, it's infuriating. He has 3 games of double-digit rebounds in his career. Dude's played like almost every minute for the last 3.5 years. And you've gotten into double-digit rebounds 3 times. It's just not enough. And I challenge anybody watching this, watch the next game. Anytime a shot goes up defensively, watch what Herb Jones does. Just watch it. It's just not that hard to go. He's not boxing out. He's not. And I'm not saying he doesn't even need to box out. Just go get the rebound. It's just a free rebound.
But they're just going to say, well, he's guarding the best player every single night, and he has to defend.
Tonight he's not. Tonight he wasn't. Like, and there was a million opportunities to just take 1.5 steps. You're not impeded. Take 1.5 steps and go jump for a rebound. And he just doesn't do it. And it's I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because it's just not his personality. Like, he seems like the type of guy that would be trying to get every rebound. Instead, he has no problem when a shot goes up just watching that shit.
and truthfully, it could just be a down season, right? But again, it's like I just don't see Herb stopping nobody. Or even when I've been watching these games, to me, if he didn't play, I wouldn't really notice he didn't play. Now he's had some games where he had some really good scoring outputs. I think he had two. I think he had a really nice second half of the Suns game. Had a nice game against first half.
Last game, he had a nice first half.
Yeah, nice game first half against the Clippers. But it's just like I don't know. I don't know, man. To me, he looked very energetic before he came back. Like he was doing a lot of jumping around, a lot of horsing around.
Dude, it could be because they're 5-29. You know, they're 5-29.
This is why you have to fire the coach.
You know how miserable this shit is. They're 5-29.
Imagine trying to play defense on a team that's like y'all not gonna win. Like that's tough. Like
no matter what, we're gonna give up one.
Yeah,
time.
like
we are.
Scoring's a little different, right? Because you got to go out there, and that's like more of a more talent thing than effort thing. Defense is purely effort. Like Ross, to your point, he probably pre-switching before it happens. That's why you're not in defensive stand. Like, all right, I'm gonna let this guy go past me so I can try to go and be somewhere else that I need to be to cover somebody else. Like, it's so much going on, bro. I'm with Ross, bro. You gotta fire the coach. Like, you gotta change the energy at some point. Like, if a guy like Herb is being impacted by the lack of energy on this team, that there lies your problem and answer all in one fold.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty sobering. All right. Last topic. Chaz, Wizards win. Pelicans lose tonight. Now
Wizards won tonight. Shout out to DC, man.
So now
Chocolate City.
Washington, it's a home and home. So Pelicans get Washington at home on Friday, then on the road on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins those games?
Man, see, I actually thought Zion would be back by now. But
and there haven't been any reports of him even being doubtful.
He's not even at the games right now.
Yeah, so he's not coming back for Washington. Neither is Brandon.
I still think they split. I think they split the DC games. I think they split.
Where the Pelicans get their win at home?
I think they get it at home.
They'll make a big they're gonna this next. I mean, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but you know what it is. I mean, they're going to make a big deal out of that game on Friday, and rightfully so, right? Yeah. I think the team will play super spirited.
Might get Jose back for what that's worth. I'm trying to think who else is out. Might get JRE back for what that's worth now. I don't know.
What's JRE out with? When did he get hurt?
Yeah, wait.
He was playing he had those couple games where he played decent, and they said, "Hold on,
that is crazy."
Win the game. Hold on.
Yeah, they kind of just like
Jared.
You gotta sit down.
I want to ask you all this. I was thinking about this today. Would y'all I know y'all want to get into the tank season, right? But does it necessarily have to be the worst team in the league? Like, where would you be satisfied with?
It got to be bottom three.
Bottom three.
Yeah.
Bottom three. What about bottom five? Like, is that
again you got the number one pick not being in the bottom three. Like that happened. Like the Zion year, you were not you were not in the bottom three to get the top pick.
Right.
But lightning usually doesn't strike twice like that. So I would want to be in the bottom three. If it was bottom five, cool. If we won a couple of games that we weren't supposed to win, but yet we were getting better at basketball, fine by me.
If I'm not mistaken,
the odds. We might be about to say the same thing. So the odds, just to be clear, I don't know if you are aware of this. The 1, 2, and 3 at the bottom all have the same odds for the first pick. So it's 14% or something. And then I think because we looked at this, whatever it was a few weeks ago, those bottom 3 have the same. So there's no difference whether you're the worst or the third worst.
Right.
So just start there. And then I think it goes 13% or 12.5. It just barely drops off for fourth. And then I think fifth, it drops to 10.5. And then I think 6 is a little less. It's I remember thinking in my head, the drop off really comes after fifth or sixth, where it starts to bleed off pretty quick. And that again goes back to why I would just fire Willie, because I think you've already done the damage. I think you've already created a big enough gap, where it doesn't matter what you do the rest of the season. You can just play it out and get this dude out of here. You're not going to win enough games to like creep back into that. I mean, we have 4 more losses than the Wizards. You're 4 clear of them in the loss column already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the other teams are Charlotte, Toronto, Utah.
But Toronto got quickly back tonight. Dude had like 20 and
Toronto
15,
will be fine.
20 and 15 and 1. Like they're going to be fine.
I think
Charlotte's 7 and 25. Damn.
The only team I'd be truly worried about eclipsing me in a spot is Utah. They're professional at this. Like they know how to lose a fucking game. Like they could actually have everything in front of them to win, and they will purposely lose it. Like if you got a chance, if you get a chance, you watch the NBA, on the app, watch Utah at the end of a game and let it be close. They gonna show you how to lose a game. It's impressive. It's truly impressive.
This is a great. Go ahead, Chaz.
No, as I said, I think the reason you keep your foot on the gas with the tank, though, even with those odds, is because they got some nice players in this draft, but they really only got about 2, like right off the bat stars. And if you want to say Ace Bailey got a lot of potential, I'll give you 3. But I think you give yourself the best odds to just go ahead and.
Who was your 2 stars, Chaz? Who
it got to be Cooper and Dylan.
Okay, I just want
to.
Yeah. So to that point, if we get a top 5 pick, would y'all trade it?
It depends on who it is.
Yeah,
it's only about 5 players I traded for.
Giannis.
Yeah,
So
if it's like
no.
4th, Giannis.
Would Booker be one, Chaz?
Yeah, if it's like 4th, I trade for Booker.
You trade the top pick for Booker?
If it was like 4th.
Oh, 4th, yeah.
4th or 5th.
I wouldn't.
Trade if it's 1 or 2, I'm not trading it.
I wouldn't trade a top 2 pick for Booker. He falls outside of that group for me.
I don't think you should ever trade a top 2 pick unless it's like a terrible draft. You should never trade a top 2 pick.
Yeah.
And the Suns keep losing, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna have to do something because nobody's taking Bradley Beal. Suns keep losing, man. They lost again. They lost to Memphis with like nobody playing healthy, like they were healthy.
Memphis had 9 people out.
Yeah.
No. It was a bad loss. Like that was
it was an awful loss at home,
bro.
Yeah.
They had like 9 people out and they were still able to win, bro.
Good coach.
Pelicans. Never mind, man.
Don't bro.
Good green awful dog.
All right, so this is fan questions, comments. About 53 minutes in. Make sure you smash the like button, helps out the channel. Once again, Pelicans fall 119-108. Appreciate Standard Mortgage, Sunshine, John Deere, as always. And of course, Theo's best pizza in the city. So X, appreciate you, member for 11 months. Appreciate you, man. They did not trade Justin for a future first round pick. Unfortunate.
Oh, Justin, before you move on, you wanted to talk about the tech.
The tech. Herb Jones tech. Jared, I got a problem with this. I was gonna say we're gonna make it quick. I got a problem with this.
What's your problem, Justin?
You dunked the ball. Mm-hmm. We're professionals. Right. You stared him down. I mean, you posted him. Okay, it was a great fucking dunk. Stared him down.
Did he say anything?
I didn't catch anything AD asked about on the broadcast. Either way,
it looked like he said something.
All right, but who said something? Once again, who fucking cares? Like someone was like, the Heat broadcast said something along the lines of like taunting. I'm like, you get taunting like texts in high school. These are professionals. Like, this is entertainment. This is the shit you want, bro. Like you want the shit talking. You want that. You want the stare down. That's why baseball, like all these bat flips and the pitchers and hitters going at each other, like that makes that shit fucking fun. It makes it electric. When you penalize a guy for fucking postering, he's struggling, whatever. Herb Jones, great crossover move, left-handed dunk, gets in his face, whatever, says something. Who cares? You tee him up. Like for real. Like this is why the product, I think, is like starting to decline a little bit. They're not letting him have any fucking fun.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. Also, you got to think about what happened between them and Houston maybe less than a couple days ago, where there was an altercation between Tyler Hero and Amin Thompson. You don't want to repeat that. I think referees watch tape, right? They know things that have happened prior to in the last game, even though they may have not called said game. Hey, watch out for this, this, and this. We don't want X, Y, and Z to happen again. So if there's any type of taunt or anything, let's nip it in the bud real quick. We used to do that shit all the time. Say when I was a referee, there was like a rivalry, right? Like kids getting into it on the court. Like, let's call us some tight to start, right? The referees do the same thing, but these are grown men. Like let them hoop, let them stare each other down. Pause. It's okay. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I just think it's gotten so soft. It was just frustrating to see it because someone said it, like, it killed the momentum of the game too.
Yeah,
it was going back and forth a little bit. It was getting a little chippy, and like that's what you want. But they've taken that completely out the game. Like the first person I thought about though, guys, was Draymond Green. I mean, Draymond Green barks at officials. I mean, just is yelling. I understand it's Draymond Green. He's a Hall of Famer, 4-time world champion. I get it, but still, you gotta call it the same.
I think it's kind of like the Iverson rules. Like certain guys, you're going to get called for fouls. I think. Maybe certain refs, they probably respect certain people's mind for the game a little bit more. Like with some people, if they miss a shot, it's like when Michael Jordan missed that shot and that ref said, I didn't see it, but I believe you, Michael. It's like, nah, Michael Jordan doesn't miss shots like that. Like, in their mind, right. Whereas if Herb's saying something, it's like, you don't even talk. Man, get him out of here. Like, it's reputation based, I think, as well. It's stupid, though.
Hey, to Chaz's point, bro, I wonder what Herb's reputation is because he gets hit with like the most ticky-tack fouls at times. Like he gets a tough whistle. I'm like, what is his reputation? Like, bro, do you say something crazy to referees?
I think he does say more than we think he says.
Yeah.
It's just quiet. He's just quiet about it. Draymond.
He was talking to the ref a lot on the sidelines.
Yeah, I see. It's not like he's not totally quiet. I also think like tonight, they were ticky-tack, but they were fouls.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of and there's stuff this year you just don't see, like a lot of just needless reach-ins and stuff. It's like you can get mad about it all you want, but you're mad because you're being like lazier than normal, and these are fouls. Like, sorry, they're calling them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, appreciate the super chat, Will Chill.
Thank you, Will.
Will Chill. Shout out.
It's Tank 5 and 77. Worldwide norm. We did talk about Dejounte Murray.
I had a question about Dejounte for y'all.
Go ahead, Chaz.
Do y'all think? Because for me, I don't think Dejounte's value has decreased any. I think players around his age who's been in the league as long as they have, I think everyone kind of just like, I know who this player is, and it's y'all. Like I already know who he is, but he's going to be better here.
Could you imagine trade for Dejounte Murray, giving up Dyson Daniels, and then trading him?
Who the fuck is Dyson Daniels? Like that's.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Well, what I'm saying is like that Lakers pick probably doesn't turn into anything, right? Now, if you traded, that's why it's like that Lakers pick probably doesn't turn into anything. But if you were able to move Dejounte for something good, then cool. I don't think you can't really cry over spilled milk. But I also think the fucked up thing is you're not seeing a lot of guard injuries this year. I mean, that's good. It's not fucked up, but it's fucking for the Pelicans because you got like 2-3 guards you trying to trade. So yeah.
Good point. Prospect. All I want to know is when y'all gonna drop the link tonight. I want to say a few things. Prospect, they were supposed to drop the link on Sunday.
We were?
You always supposed to drop shit. Sunday night show, man. Prospect, we'll do it Sunday after
Prospect.
After the Wizards game. Appreciate you, Prospect, for the super chat. Will Chill. Keep Master P at Chaz Pissy everywhere. Tank Baby, welcome back at Justin. Drop the link.
Pissy, man. Pissy team.
Appreciate you, Will Chill. Sunday, we'll drop the link. Thomas, appreciate your
shout out to Thomas.
Ooh, they bragged on 49 wins. Let's see if they'll brag on 69 losses.
If they lose 69 games, bro. If they lose 69 games, that'll be, man, everybody got to get fired. That's why I say, hey, keep your foot on the gas with the Tank. I'm trying to get everybody fired. Smooth transition.
69 losses would be tough. Damn. Will chill, embrace the tank. Only way Gale notices. Only way Gale notices.
Yeah,
imagine owning something worth a couple $1 billion and only noticing when it turns into like straight trash.
I don't even think Gale password work anymore. Like on the team computer, Gale, like, oh shit, it's been so long. But I don't know. I think Gale probably pays a little more attention than we give her credit for. But it's just they always a day late and a dollar short. Like with Dennis Allen, day late, dollar short. Like you couldn't have fired him at a worse time, because if you were going to go for it, those 1 or 2 wins you could have gotten, you know what I'm saying, you probably would have still had a chance to at least go to the. You would have been competitive, a wild card competitive, but you won a game at the worst time, just for the sake of sparking the team. It's like, man, fuck all that.
Wait, Lito did say 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah,
one more time. Oh wait, when they play tomorrow, right? Well,
no, they play Friday. So Friday, Sunday, Wizards.
Wouldn't it be funny if they was like, all right, Zion, enough's enough. We need you to come back. We need to come back for this one game. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't. You're not gonna see Zion. You're not gonna see Zion this weekend, I don't think.
Definitely not.
When he practiced, like next week.
No, it was before. It was before that last game. We talked about this. They like people. I think somehow people thought it was more imminent than it was. They said he was like doing stuff off on the side. They're like, yeah, he's really not all that close to like practicing with the full team. Yeah, that dude ain't playing anytime soon.
Jose got injured after Zion, right?
I think all I remember is they were supposed to give a 2-week update on both of them at the same time.
Pretty sure
pretty close.
Pretty sure Jose comes back Friday.
I think if Zion got injured versus
if anyone remembers that, did Jose get injured after Zion?
He got injured after Zion. Like I think,
he's going to return sooner than Zion.
I think he got injured like a couple days after him.
Yeah,
a couple days later. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, smash like button. Appreciate everyone pulled up tonight. Once again, thoughts and prayers to all the victims and just the tragedy that happened earlier this morning. Once again, Pelicans fall 119-108 to the Heat. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe. We'll see y'all on Friday night, and then Sunday night, Prospect will drop the live link for y'all to come up and talk. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to y'all later.